Okay. Let's get to the getting on, huh? Let's get here. Food segue? Nah. Hold on. Well, there's that pretty face. Oh, yuck. Alright, killing the music, and, well, as you know, I just get started. Angel Wings! Oh, you got the notification. That is very nice to hear for a change. Bass Girl, sweetheart, hello. Shabbat Shalom, of course. By the by, well, I don't know how else to say it. Queen Survivor, for one, thank you all. You guys gave me the motivation, the inspiration to go ahead and do this. Yes, we all work our asses off. That is what the American dream has become. It is, just keep on going and hope you might just have enough to survive whenever that time comes. If there is such a thing as golden years, Seafowls, Shelby, who no longer lives in my state, took me long enough to learn that. I'm just going to get into it. Well, let's see. Do I have a funny story from today that might involve having my life threatened? Mayhaps. The video's blurry? What? Get out of here. Get out of here. Ain't no blurry over here. It's just, what's up, Trisha? Awesome to see you. It's just, I'm doing the John Cena thing. You can't see me, okay? And that's gonna have to do scientifically cleared up that way. Um, I'll tell you a funny anecdote, and then I got stuff we're gonna get right into. And yes, I have continued my deep dive into Maui. Into I'm going to not say this specific term this early in the video, but you can bet your ass is gonna be covered. And something that I'm going to ask you all, because as I've said, I found the secret sauce. Okay. I really feel after all these years, as much as I love and will always love, and I'm looking forward to working with Josh again. Josh, by the way, he's coming into town, but he's going to South Beach. He's going for the premiere of his new movie. It's called POV. I'm sure we'll have some clips and footage. He is a part of a great cast and team. I wish him all the best. We'll be back at it Tuesday, Thursday, and it will be consistent and not stop. So aside from that, today I'm at work. Okay, I sell booze. There's this dude that's been coming around recently. He quit the snow. Not like the liberal snow, but like the snow that makes you really really hype. And he's been coming around. Apparently, he lives behind my liquor store. And while he does that, he likes to talk a lot of nonsense. He likes to say a lot of things really loud and maybe get people's attention, maybe press buttons, whatever the case may be. I don't know if he's getting his rocks off or whatever. It's a family establishment, even though it's a liquor store. We have a family establishment's name as our title, but he keeps on cussing and saying things that maybe offend somebody. And there's a very nice young family in front of me that I'm serving. Young father, very young mother, and a little sweet child. This little girl had to have been 5 years old. And this douchebag, who's just standing in front of me over by the lotto, is just dropping the MF bombs and all this. And I'm asking him to please. This is like the umpteenth time I've requested this man just be civil. All right, out of respect for me. And when he's like, "Oh, they don't care," I'm like, "Dude, there's a child right next to you." He goes, "She doesn't, effing care." I'm watching my language for now. This will change. And the father's like, "No, actually, we do care." And then homeboy just starts to go. He's provoking. He's like, "What you gonna do about it?" It starts to get into that mode, and then I break it up. I take control. I make sure that the family exits, and then homeboy, I've been serving for like 3 years. I don't know what he's been going through. Oh, he watches this. I just remembered he watches this. Well, if you watch this, I'm so sorry to let you know that you're gonna be trespassed. You're 86th. You're not allowed back in our store. This is a strange way for you to find out, and I hope this is not how you find out. If I see any names I don't recognize, this is going to turn into a very interesting stream. But yeah, you are officially banned. You've been too much trouble for me, and you started trouble with you know who last night. You're gone. Be gone. You're gone. Okay? And well, here's the kicker. The last thing this man says, like, what's up, Tad? Todd. What's up, Todd, my brother? It's good to see you. That's not him, by the way. The last thing he decides to tell me, and by the way, fellow short guy, Napoleon complex all the way. He's like, he leans into me. He's like, that guy's like 5 foot. What's he got? I got, and he's talking about this. I got these, man. He doesn't actually pull one out, but he's like, essentially, he says, I have firearms. What is he gonna do? I'm like, bro, you need to go. And away he went. And that's pretty much that. That was the highlight of my day. How was your day? So again, let me see what you said entirely. Just want to say I'm letting anyone concerned that anyone whose Maui fire luckily missed every flight log member of another island, no name needed. Did I read that correctly? I'm just letting anyone concerned that anyone whose Maui fire luckily missed every flight log member of another. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I get it. Trust me. Now, let's dig right into that. This is going to get into territory that, YouTube is not a huge fan of, but we're going to see what we can do. First, all right, let me offer context as to why I've opened this back up. Somebody pointed out, and it was thank you again. I have to thank all of you that are making this such an organic and amazing experience. I feel like we're all in a classroom together, only we're not. We're both all students and all teachers at the same time. So somebody in the chat last night, as I rewatched it, proposed somebody messaging a new material, or is it the guy that was threatening, pew pewing? Let me check just in case, and I'm gonna mention. Oh, thank you. Okay, I got that. All right, we're going to keep that, and I'm going to send it. It'll be shown. Thank you again. Everybody's invited. This is a real time. All right, cog in the machine. We're all the cogs. We are the machine. Screw the main machine, the mainstream machine. We're making our own. We're taking it back. All right, so somebody suggested, I think was it Stephen A? Was it Maxwell and White Dragon? They were talking about, do you guys have any idea how much human trafficking, child trafficking, I don't give a shit, YouTube, sorry, was occurring in Hawaii, in Maui, before this happened? This to me was a new ingredient to the entire scenario. So I have pulled this up, and I wanted to learn a little bit from something that I have chose this site out of all of the biased sites that want to downplay everything and keep pretending that things are normal. This one is the one I have chosen. I hope I'm not disappointed. Was this posted just okay, all right, 2022. So let's learn together, okay? There are widespread reports of sex trafficking, so why no convictions? And this is for, you guessed it, Maui. Although and by the way, real quick, right now, I don't know why this is on. I have mainstream news on, and there's a giant fire in Washington, and there's a tropical storm warning for California, but they reported ever so briefly, like it was a tidbit, like it was a 1 minute advertisement, like, oh, there's a large fire that's being contained in Washington, and that's it. That's all. They showed footage and then it was gone. So screw that. I'm not gonna have that on the background while I do, like, I don't know, actual research. So back to this. Although state agencies have received hundreds of reports of sex trafficking in Hawaii in recent years, state prosecutors have failed to convict a single person of the crime since legislators formally outlawed the practice in 2016. A review of state and local records by Civil Beat found. Wait, what did they? Okay, hold on. What exactly was outlawed here? I mean, we all know human trafficking or sex trafficking. That is outlawed. All right, literally, just that's default. That this sentence here is not giving me. Okay, let's go on to the next. The inability to win convictions has persisted despite. This is what's been going on before the fires. The inability to win convictions has persisted despite ramped up state and local efforts to curb trafficking, including a federally funded human trafficking task force in Honolulu and more than half a dozen legal reforms aimed at holding traffickers accountable. So I'm a layman. Okay, I'm learning now. Student, not teacher yet. The implication in the chat last night, which was very active, was that somebody who knows more than I do is that we have no idea that what that fire, what I don't know how bad it's raging on currently, what that fire was able to cover up, aside from being able to make new land to be fixed however the powers that be want it, and make it all technologically advanced and bring us closer to the world of Wall-E a la Disney or Pixar, I forget. So there, I had no idea there was a massive trafficking uh, conglomerate, for lack of a better term, occurring in Hawaii and in Maui. So, and apparently it was happening so rampantly, but also the ability to actually serve justice and stop it was running just as rampant as the act itself. What the hell? And now I'm thinking again, just reminding myself that that Las Vegas sheriff guy, that's the dude who's in charge. When did he start? I'm going to keep that question in mind because it's going to need an answer. Okay, prosecutors at both the state and county level told Civil Beat that bringing traffickers to justice is difficult because much of the activity is veiled by online anonymity. I'm going to struggle with that one. And victims are often reluctant to face their abusers in court. Unfortunately, we've learned that's all too common. Sometimes, though, I feel like, I don't know, there's just behind the curtains payoffs and yes, massive intimidation, scare tactics. The difficulty is compounded by the fact that the state lacks a unified system to are we also uncovering a massive flaw in our in our system to just in specifically Hawaii to combat trafficking, of all things, sex trafficking? And why? Why is that a huge problem in the United States? The state has dedicated relatively little money. Why would okay, all right. Is Hawaii mostly Democrat run? I don't know. There are things I don't know. I want to understand why, if it's such a clear and present problem, why isn't it getting or accumulating the funding? Why isn't legislation being put into place so that that beautiful place, Hawaii, wouldn't be so renowned for such a thing? So, in a report to the legislature in December, then State Attorney General Claire Connors made clear that although data on sex trafficking is limited and disaggregated, the problem is severe. Her words, not mine. Severe. What a great place to have a fire. Based on observations and experience, practitioners in the field conclude that incidents of the commercial sexual exploitation of children and human trafficking are widespread in Hawaii. Jesus, I'm today years old learning about this. I did not read this article before I clicked it. Connors wrote, reports from independent and state agencies underscore the point. The Hawaii Department of Human Services, for example, received at least 183 reports of suspected child sex trafficking between 2018. Again, like, how many times have we heard, as I've been covering all this crap, right? The WEF letter regarding their plans for Hawaii, and just it seems to pop up everywhere for so many things that I've been talking about, that I discover and I decide to bring to light. 2018, that year, I don't know what the relevance is. So 2018 and 2020, the department has yet to release its why is there a 2021 report that has not been released to the proper officials and the public? We need answers. This kind of stuff. We cannot keep on finding information like this where we're learning that all the things that we've been promised would not be such a grand issue in this first world country, the champion of all first world countries, because we pay our taxes like a mofo. All of these things are happening, and we learn about it in the most disturbing way. This is not breaking news right now. And of course, aside from one fire that's getting contained in Washington, it's indictments for Trump. That's it. It's the same old clock. Okay. Between February 2019 and June 2021, Hawaii's Child Welfare Services Agency, a branch with DHS, received 205 reports of children being trafficked. Who does nothing with that? According to the Attorney General's report, at least 67 of those cases were ultimately confirmed. That's a pretty decent confirmation rate. So what does that mean with the other ones? Were they not properly investigated? Were they swept under the rug? What is going on here? Who's accountable? Where's the leadership? I can't read this one. The Susanna Wesley Community Center, which is contracted by CWS to provide treatment to trafficking victims, reported treating 248 individuals. Okay, so look, 205 reports of children being trafficked, right? And they had 67 confirmed, but they treated 248 individuals, given that could be a mixture of children and adults between 2019 and 2020. And by the way, the 2021 report, whoops, it's gone. Just like the Epstein flight log. Gone. Okay, need a sip of water. The nonprofit National Human Trafficking Hotline reported that in 2020, it received 108 reports of human trafficking from people in Hawaii, including calls, texts, emails, and online tips. There's got to be websites out there. There's got to be, some of these nonprofits have to have collaborative data, victim impact statements. There has to be people that gave names. There's got to be something. Somebody has to. I'll volunteer. I'll go as far as I possibly can with my connections. It's high time I reach out to CanCon. I know he's a very busy man, but I'd love, and I know he would proudly get behind and help me just look into this. He's good with FOIA requests and all that. Okay, so in addition, an oft-cited 2020 survey conducted by the nonprofit Child and Family Service Organization, the Arizona State University School of Social Work's Office of Sex Trafficking Intervention Research, and the Hawaii State Commission on the Status of Women found in interviews with 363 individuals, 363 individuals receiving social services across the state, that 97 or nearly 27% reported being sex trafficked. How am I just now learning this? What is so broken in our system and in our journalistic, in the people that are supposedly, they take an oath to tell the truth at all costs. They take an oath to take a risk to get the truth out there. They agree to step on the toes of the powerful and the mighty. Okay, they do away with the concern of walking on eggshells. I thought that's what it was all about, not partnering up with the bad guys and the government and the strong arm of the government, which apparently is the FBI. Yes, I said it, and I don't mean allegedly. Okay. 27%. While reports of sex trafficking have piled up, police and prosecutors have taken up relatively few cases. That is just deplorable. I'll just say it without anything to back me up. What a convenient way to do away with a bunch of reported and ignored reports that were growing and an entire year disappeared than for a fire. And for all intents and purposes to appear as natural as possible, even though it's a citywide fire. And I'm not saying that, city fires aren't possible. We know they are. Okay, but it is something that's pretty radical. Okay, we're accustomed to seeing forest fires in certain areas of our country. But Maui burning down at the seams, the footage that we saw last night, that's not natural. That's not normal. Okay, between 2014 and 2020, the Hawaii Criminal Justice Data Center in the Attorney General's office reported 19 arrests. 19 out of all the numbers I just read, as high as nearly 400 earlier. We only got 19 arrests. At least there's a link there. I hope I can find like one guy that will be connected to something else, because it's never one person. This is a network. These are networks. 19 arrests statewide for sex trafficking or promoting prostitution in the first degree, the legal term of sex trafficking in Hawaii until 2016. Only one of those arrests, which occurred in 2015 under the earlier statute, resulted in a conviction. One? Are you kidding? One arrest out of the 19, out of the over 300 victims. One arrest resulted in a conviction? What the fuck are we paying you guys for out there, man? Apparently to burn it all down. Okay. Needed a breath. County prosecutors have also struggled to prosecute traffickers. In 2018, did you guys know about this? Then Honolulu prosecuting attorney Keith. Okay, we got a name, and I need a name. I need to copy paste. I'm copying that. Give me a moment. I don't know if I copied that. Okay. Told reporters that his office had investigated 19 cases of sex trafficking the previous year. I've said that word so many times. You demonetize me. Do your thing. I don't care. Kaneshiro said, yet none of the accused were ultimately found guilty. In only one case have county prosecutors come close to securing a conviction. In 2017, Paola Ibarra and Gustavo Ferreira were arrested in Honolulu. I'm just now thinking that does not sound like local Hawaiian names. Just adding that, yes, many people move there, but I'm just picking up what I can. And charged with sex trafficking and kidnapping a 21-year-old woman from California who claimed the couple forced her to perform acts for money in Waikiki. At trial in 2018, defense attorneys repeatedly highlighted the accuser's history as a sex worker. Oh, this is where you defame the victim and you make the good guys go free, right? Right. Great. In the end, Ibarra was acquitted of sex trafficking but found guilty of the lesser offense of promoting prostitution in the second degree and sentenced to 5 years probation. She was she was also ordered to pay a $2,500 human trafficking fee. Wow. I know there's a jaywalking fee. I know there's speeding tickets. I had no idea we've gotten to the point where we're going to issue you a ticket for human trafficking. You just pay it at your local office. You can drop off the check at your nearest UPS. It's just $2,500. A slap on the wrist. Don't do it again, okay? For shame. Next time, no better. Don't get caught. What in the shit? What is this? New partnerships. Man, I am invested. While the Ibarra trial was underway, Honolulu law enforcement agencies partnered with the Susanna Wesley Community Center to apply for a grant, thank you, from the U.S. Department, the DOJ, in an effort to bolster chronically underfunded local efforts to combat the sex trade. If it was that bad, why did they have to suffer for this long? What the fuck? And now it's on fire. Everybody was working very, I've never seen this word, siloed, and so we wanted to bring everyone, soloed would make sense, everyone together so that we could try to combat trafficking in the island, said Shantae Williams, Human Trafficking Program Coordinator at the Wesley Center. In September of 2018, that year, the DOJ awarded the city and county of Honolulu $300 billion to Ukraine But Honolulu, when it comes to our citizens, children getting tossed around like meat, $700,000 as a grant to create the Honolulu County Human Trafficking Task Force. The Wesley Center, that's like a cheap dollar store version of U.S. Marshals. The Wesley Center received an additional, okay, 375, still peanuts, 375,000 from the DOJ. Despite the infusion of cash, there have been no new where did the money go? What did it do? There have been no new prosecutions initiated in Honolulu or elsewhere in the state. Oh, and by the way, the report of the statistics of all the trafficking disappeared in 2021. I'm just adding that. Okay, let me see if I can give or offer an abridged version. Although every word, I'm absorbing it, and it's kind of chipping my soul away. County prosecutors have also struggled to prosecute traffickers. In 2018, then Honolulu. Wait. Nope. Sorry, I went up. Nope. We went there. Sorry. It involves okay, we got something. Oh, okay. Not a good something. None of it's good. The one sex trafficking case currently underway is a holdover from 2013. A holdover from 2013, and this was written in 2022. Okay. It involves an individual charged with sexual assault and trafficking of a minor. The case was dismissed on a technicality last year, but has since been refiled under the statute as it existed in 2013. Rochelle Vindina, a deputy prosecuting attorney at the Honolulu Prosecuting Attorney's Office and head of the Honolulu County Human Trafficking Task Force, said the case has been repeatedly delayed. That's dirty pool. That's like filibustering. That's when somebody in a position of power can keep on moving the goalposts, waving the carrot and then pushing it back. Delayed at the request of the defense, and more recently because of COVID. What a better way to, push back justice for children that are impacted by sex trafficking and being handled like no child should ever. Than that nonsense cold that shut down the country. She said she expects the case will come to trial in the near future. I wish I had a name or a case number here. Okay. I want this woman's name more than I want the last name because I need to know about this case, especially with everything that's happened, and we might find out in real time. My fear is just, okay, here's the full name. Rochelle Vindina. Okay. We're thinking that might be a way for us to build cases that are going to be stronger. That might be a way for us to generate cases where we can actually go after both the traffickers and the buyers. The task force has also established a new rapid response protocol, which brings together members of the Honolulu Prosecuting Attorney's Office, the Department of Attorney General, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Honolulu Police Department, Homeland Security Investigation Unit to coordinate efforts with new cases when new cases emerge. What's been frustrating is this work for myself, and I think the service providers and law enforcement feel the same way, is difficulty we're having holding traffickers accountable. How is that really that complicated? We know there are victims. We have service providers working with our victims. We know trafficking is taking place in our community. Civil Beat filed a public records request in January with the DOJ for reports the task force is required to produce as a condition of the $700,000 federal grant. That's right. This would include information on all criminal, civil, and administrative cases initiated in connection with the grant, as well as financial records and progress reports. DOJ has acknowledged receipt of the request, but has not yet provided any documents. The task force declined to provide Civil Beat with copies of the. Why would the task force that has been tasked with taking care of the damn task refuse to give the report over? I'm seeing failure on every possible tier here. To the Justice Department. Okay. New bill with a familiar feel. This is the last of it, but I'm gonna do a real speed read here. While prosecutions of sex trafficking have largely stalled, the bill currently under consideration in the state Senate would allocate $754,000 to help establish a unit within the Attorney General's office. What good has it done so far to help convict? Okay. The bill, which also earmarks funding for a white-collar crime investigation unit, has received unanimous support from 3 Senate committees. Hallelujah. And is expected to clear the full Senate in the coming weeks. In its current form, the bill would create 9 new full-time positions with Attorney General's office. Okay, here's some quotes. With this type of unit, with dedicated investigators and staff analysis who are going to help us digest this information, it's going to speak volumes. By the way, pay no attention to the fire we're going to set in 2023. Now, I added that there. Give me let me check in with you guys real quick. What the hell? Okay? Seriously. I just because of a few comments I saw right here in the chat last night, I decided to do some damn homework. And this popped up out of all the sites, and I chose that one. What has been going on in Hawaii? Does anybody know any more than that? I've got more information to go through. I've got clips and topics, but what the fuck? What the hell? Okay, I don't know that I'm not going to close that. There's too many names and links that I need to follow up on. Give me a moment. Here we go. All right. I might be risking Biden. Oh, by the way, take this with a grain of salt. I'm not going to go into this one just yet. Biden admin preparing to bring back full COVID restrictions rollout to begin mid-September. Not my birthday month, bitch. You better be kidding me on this one. You better be kidding me on this one. Whistleblowers from the TSA. All right. Quick rundown. Then I'm going to jump back. Whistleblowers from the TSA and Border Patrol have raised the alarm to InfoWars. So that's where okay. Look, InfoWars is still credible. They went through what they went through. Alex Jones screwed up where he screwed up. They've still been able to accomplish quite a bit throughout the entirety of their career. You can, if you want to, let him die on one hill because of him speaking incorrectly about something, and he got punished for it. But this is new information, so I take it with greater than a grain of salt. This is more than possible. It's probable. So the initial source of information is a senior official within the TSA. This would take some balls. Who is acknowledged by InfoWars. The source contacted InfoWars and conveyed details of a meeting held on Tuesday. During this meeting, TSA managers informed attendees that updated memorandum policies were in the final stages of preparation. No way, dude. No way. These policies are aimed at reintroducing mask mandates. That's not happening in Florida. This is not happening. Beginning with implementation for TSA and airport employees. I'll tell you this for what it's worth. Here in Florida, where DeSantis kicked COVID's ass, I don't care what anybody says. I am noticing that in my area and at my job, the word is spreading that COVID is spreading again. And I don't know if one of my supervisors mentioned that it was a different strand or something. So, go figure. Go figure. And now I'm reading this shit. These policies are aimed at beginning with The TSA official further disclosed that in the upcoming week, they anticipate receiving revised guidelines. There's no way, man. Maybe the blue states, but you can just bless your heart and turn right around and go where you're welcome. Okay? This ain't happening. The progression of this policy. By mid-October, the requirement for wearing masks will extend to encompass pilots, flight crew members, passengers, and individuals present at airports. Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. Subsequent to this revelation by the TSA official, InfoWars made contact with an established source within the Border Patrol who also holds a managerial role. This additional source corroborated the information. Oh, shit. So we have a high-ranking Border Patrol official that is corroborating the high-ranking TSA official. That's not good. That's land and ground, and okay. I'm still not. There's some denial here. There's some resistance, natural American resistance, pure blood, staying that way. This additional source, okay, yeah, concerning mask mandates were being disseminated within the Border Patrol as well. The sources communicated a consistent message that this development is not a matter of if, but rather when. Fuck right off. They anticipate a resurgence of official COVID-19 case numbers and foresee a return to mandatory mask policies by around mid-October. By the way, thank you to who sent this to me. I think it was Silver Girl or Cindy. Thank you. These mandates were previously discontinued by the Biden administration following significant pressure. Okay. Both whistleblowers received information indicating that this initiative will coincide with the current heightened concern over a new new COVID-19 variant. That, by the way, if Biden's dumbass is, I hope he's not. Please tell me he's not. Is he really trying to run again? Is he? He is not capable. Just nothing's going on up there. So this would be bad for his campaign. I would hope. You'd think somebody would learn. A topic that has been prominently covered by the mainstream media in recent years, and that's where it ends. What the? Okay. Well, I'm gonna take the. What? You seem a bit surprised tonight. Yeah, take a deep breath. Okay, whatever's going on, everybody be chill. What you got, White Dragon, bro? I gave you thanks earlier when I started. I straight up said thank you to you, Stephen A, and whoever else. It was just a couple of comments that you guys made regarding whatever crimes and trafficking was being committed in Hawaii before the fires, and that's what inspired the entire beginning of this stream. So thank you. Thank you for being an independent thinker and sharing vital information. All right. So isn't it what? Let me see. Isn't it wild that we have been taught about all the land grabs from history, and maybe we are in it? That's something we should look up together tonight. Is this Oprah land thing? What's up, V, darling girl? So good to see you. Actions, not distractions. Don't you apologize. Nobody apologize in my stream. Nobody apologize. Okay. Now here's what I got, and I'm taking a small risk because you know what? We're all worth it. This moment, this magic, being able to communicate with all of you. And by the way, thank you, Queen. You did send this, and all I gotta do is I can open it up from Facebook. But here, along with Maui corruption and land. I don't know who this dude is. I don't know if he's got a YouTube. Hold on, let me do my YouTube prayer. Oh, it starts with this, by the way. Dearest YouTube gods, overlords of the YouTube and the Googles, please allow me on this night to speak the truth without fear. Please do not let one of your Google ninjas or YouTube samurais come for me in the night. Shut up, feedback. I have to hold it like this. And please, dear chat gods, whatever it is that has ducks a little agitated, it's called agita in Italiano in New York. Please have her take the chill pill. Thank you, YouTube overlords, gods, and to any FBI or whomever that may be waiting and watching. You ain't gonna black bag me, you suckers. All right. YouTube men. Okay, so let's take a risk. Fair use, educational purposes. Let's learn.
Evicted? The Maui massacre just got even worse. You will not believe today's video. We'll be looking in depth as to the deliberate lack of response by government officials in Maui and even President Joe Biden's insulting offer to Hawaiians. We'll also be
that's going to be what we covered on Stuck in the Middle. $700 to people that have nothing. It's literally like I say this often, right? It's like rubbing somebody's face in urine and spit in their mouth and saying you're welcome.
Be
Let
discussing
me
how
see what he covers, and we'll see if it's worthy of our time, because I want to learn more about whatever the hell's going on with Oprah's nonsense.
those in Maui with homes still standing, they're actually being evicted. Now we're going to talk about so much more. Make sure you do not skip forward on this video. Watch the entire thing, as I promise,
see, fella.
you're going to see things that
Something to do.
mainstream media absolutely does not want you to see. Let's begin.
Do you regret not sounding the sirens?
I do not. And the reason why,
So many people said they could have been saved if they had time to escape. Had a siren gone off, they would have known that there was a crisis emerging. And as we know, so many bodies were found in the ground as the flames caught their heels.
give you the answer?
Oh,
The sirens, as I mentioned earlier,
Okay.
is used primarily for tsunamis, and that's the reason why
Wait,
many
what?
of them are found.
No
Almost
way.
all of them are found on the coastline.
Real quick.
The public is-
Okay, first off, I hope this man did not just try to make the case that the giant fires that was destroying massive infrastructure and life, it was on, the button was for tsunamis, so I couldn't press the button. I really hope that's not the argument. And by the by, I'm sure this is not accurate, but from my phone, it appears that there was only 2 thumbs up. Please, if you do find that this moment that we share together is worthy, team like hip thrust that thumbs up. It helps battle that YouTube algorithm that is not our friend. With that being said, let's see what the hell this man just meant.
Trained to seek higher ground in the event that the siren is sounded. Had we sounded the siren that night, we're afraid that people would have gone Malka. And if that was the case, then they would have gone into the fire. By the way, I should also note that there are no sirens Malka or on the mountainside
Okay, I'm losing it.
where
Okay,
the fire
it's a
was
place.
spreading down. So even if we sounded the siren, it would not have saved those people on the mountainside.
How do you know?
Maui Emergency Management Agency Director Herman Andaya, who reportedly made the final decision against activating the emergency sirens in Lahaina, Maui, has resigned. The sirens were meant to alert residents of imminent tsunamis,
What is going on?
wildfires, terrorist attacks, etc.
I want to know if that very calm demeanor individual who definitely just told the world he's a complete ingrate, idiot savant of some kind, or not savant, just a complete moron. Is he a patsy here? Did somebody above him say, do not sound alarms? It's fair to speculate. There's nothing to trust. There's nothing left to trust but one another.
Residents have concluded the use of the sirens would have saved countless lives, but Director Andaya said he had no regrets about refusing to activate the sirens.
got a
Hawaiian
payoff.
Governor Josh Green has consistently defended the refusal to use sirens. Should the director be prosecuted in relation to the deaths of over 100 plus citizens of Lahaina? The devastating situation in Maui has proved once again that the U.S. government is incompetent and unreliable in a time of need. The emergency chief refused to sound the city's evacuation alarms in an emergency.
Because it wasn't water, it was fire. Like, what? Okay, this dude is schooling me a little bit here. I am beyond shocked at the information. It's so ridiculous. I want to laugh, but I fear it'd come out as a cry.
Deputy director in charge of water refused to open waterways to help firefighters who begged for it. Now check this video out, which completely proves that the man you just heard, Herman Andaya, who was giving excuses.
Okay, I heard that right. Firefighters were begging for waterways to be open, and they were refused. How deep? What is going on there? What is going on there? And now with the context of all of the corruption and just all the dirty, terrible things that have been occurring, including reports that are supposed to be public because also they're federally funded institutions, they're not supplying the information for not even with the grant money that they were awarded. What use is it all if the money is spent and the actions are not taken?
well, he completely lied.
So in the state of Hawaii, we have a statewide alert and warning system, which we also call SAWS. That involves not only the siren warning system, but as well as IPAWS. IPAWS is the Integrated Public Alerts and Warning System provided by FEMA, and that has the Emergency Alert System, also known as EAS. It also has the Wireless Emergency Alerts, which is known as WEA. We also use sirens for hurricanes, brush fires, flooding, lava, hazmat conditions, or even a terrorist event. We have over 400 sirens spread out through 4 counties.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it not on the list? Frickin' laser beams? I haven't conceded, but you know, I don't see any better explanations right now.
Sirens have a rating of 121 decibels. We have to visit each siren minimal once a year for preventive maintenance.
Okay, see, all this upkeep is tax money. All this upkeep somehow is paid for and impacts our lives on a daily. This is what I'm talking about us paying for things that just do not serve us. We, the people. What are we paying for, though? A conflict halfway around the world between Ukraine and Russia. Their problem.
Our role in the state of Hawaii in emergency management, especially telecommunications, is to prevent loss of life and to minimize property damage.
There you have it, folks. The Hawaiian government's own website says that the sirens should be used for fires. Those sirens are supposed to be used for multiple types of disasters.
Colin Rugg tweeted, Maui Emergency Management Agency Chief Herman Andaya has resigned due to health reasons after he refused to...
Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face, couldn't keep a straight breath in my lungs. Health reasons? Yeah. Because when you swallow so much bullshit, you're definitely going to start to feel a little ill. When you're such a fucking shill, you're definitely going to start questioning if you're real yourself.
Play sirens to alert Maui residents of the fire. He should be dragged away in handcuffs and thrown in jail instead. At least 111 people are dead, and this clown doesn't regret not alerting them before they were burned alive. Criminal. So now we've seen officials in Maui not only purposely not sounding the emergency sirens, but also purposely saying no to using the vast amounts of water available to put out the fires. What is happening here? Forgive me if I'm wrong here, but when there's an emergency taking place, shouldn't it be all hands on deck? Shouldn't officials do everything they possibly can, like sound the emergency alarms and use the water that's available to put out the fires? As we've discussed on previous videos this week, the other aspect to all of this is the land grab that's going on. Listen as a Maui resident discusses a meeting between the Hawaii governor and land developers.
Term. Long term. We need to get our people back home. I just came from a meeting run by the governor. All these developers were talking about forget the permit process. We're going to build homes, not in Lahaina, and make these homes available. You know what the truth of that is? They're like fast track their development. And they're not fucking helping the people over here. There was not one conversation in this meeting about the people. Every conversation that was had, every developer that came up there and talked about what they could offer was about getting rid of the permits so that they can steal water from our streams. They can fucking fast track westernization development and forget about the culture and place. That's gonna be our hardest journey in this long road to recovery.
To add insult to injury, now those fortunate enough to still have homes left standing are now...
That footage right there that needs to go so viral. That was a man that clearly is concerned about his people, has seen and felt the loss and the tragedy and all of it. All of the good, bad, ugly, there's no good. and he went to a meeting to the leadership that's supposed to offer solutions, that's supposed to reinstill hope into the people that have gone through such a life-altering, barely survived this moment in time, this moment in history that we'll all look back on. And I hope we remember that a moment like that and every other one like it. You heard it right there. That man went to the meeting on behalf of the people, his people, our people, and all that was talked about by the powers that be, by those with the money and the connections, was fast tracking without permits. And I know a thing or two about the permitting process because I did the hurricane shutter business. And that is solely for people to overlook, necessary safeguards and to expedite getting paid and getting wealthier buyers. They get to eliminate red tape, and under the pretense of a large-scale emergency, man, they're making up whole new rules here. Did you see that? You could hear and see the pain in that man's voice and his face, and I heard somebody crying in the background. That clip needs to be immortalized. Excuse me. I'm going to splice. I'm going to edit that part. I can use the YouTube remix feature, and that shit is going to be one of my shorts. I can at least do that. Please, we have to do our part. If I didn't see that before, okay? We've all seen that. Now it is our American duty, okay? This is where Josh would say ill, but this is, if ever there was a calling to do something, a call to action, this is something where it's necessary. Something more has to be done than what is planned. That is sickening.
Facing yet another obstacle, eviction.
Do not give up Maui. Do not let them take your land. They are giving eviction notices to people whose houses didn't burn down. That shouldn't be legal. The court took time to write an eviction notice. I knew there was evil in this world, but Jesus Christ. The landlord had to go to the court, file a petition, and then managed to get that done in under a fucking week, and we can't get aid? Evict somebody?
FEMA also authorized one-time payments of $700 per household to folks who've been displaced, so they can do the immediate things of just taking care of medications and prescriptions that they so badly need.
President Biden sent an embarrassing and insulting $700 to Maui fire victims, and that's per household, while requesting an additional $40 billion of emergency funding to Ukraine.
So you're in an informational black hole. I don't know that Joe Biden's message has even reached the people of West Maui. But I will say this. I saw that $700 is going to be sent to the families of Lahaina. Now, I just did some quick math, Pete. There's about 13,000 residents of Lahaina. Times $700, that's $1.9 million. I think this week we announced another $40 billion for Ukraine. I'm not sure where we are at this point, Pete, but I believe it's something like $140 billion total for Ukraine. And last I checked, this is the United States of America, as is East Palestine, Ohio. So I don't know why it's so hard.
The more and more that I do my research and that I learn, the more that I am starting to learn that we are only the United States of America by name and name alone. This administration has got to go. There is nothing American about any of the things that are being planned and are already hatching. And oh, by the way, look at all the aliens. Look at the aliens, guys. They're evicting people that were lucky enough to survive. And oh, hey, Ukraine, yeah. Here's another $40 billion. Hey, American citizens, here's some chump change, just in case you need like one prescription filled or something, and some Cheerios. What in the other shit is happening to us?
Hard comparatively to rally for America, and so easy comparatively to support Ukraine.
Yeah, the forgotten men and women on an island, forgotten today by the administration, distracted by so many other things.
$700 in Hawaii, the most expensive state in America, is equivalent to about $350 in the rest of the states. Again, This is per household, not per survivor. As a thank you, there's a nice warm welcome awaiting Joe Biden in Hawaii on the road to Lahaina.
Go there,
Over 1 week has passed, and
Go there.
still zero aid is getting to Americans who are suffering in Maui. Maybe that aid was given to Ukraine.
These are people who stood up in the midst of this tragedy and did everything they could to help each other. The sad part is we are 8 days past this wildfire, and I'm in constant touch with these community members and leaders. They are still not seeing response from the county, the state, the federal government to be able to go out and help them. The community support hubs that they have are 100% community led.
So who owns Maui? After the state of Hawaii, who owns over 154,000 acres on Maui, Alexander and Baldwin is the second largest landowner at over 65,000 acres, and the US government is the third largest landowner at over 33,000 acres. Okay, so let's take a look at the investors behind Alexander and Baldwin. BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. Interesting, don't you think? What's also interesting is just how intense and unusual these fires seem to be lately. All right, we've made it this far. Let's put on our tinfoil hats for a moment and check out this interesting press release from 2018 titled Aluminum Dust from Geoengineering.
What is it with 2018, man? That's where the WEF went and... Okay, that is when the WEF announced their plans for a smart Hawaii. And again, it is mentioned. Aluminum dust from geoengineering fueling super wildfires, according to author. Okay.
Fueling super wildfires, according to author. I know. Now stick with me as we read this together. While researching for his new novel, author Dennis Mills discovered an alarming link between chemtrails and the super wildfires. The author discovered that unprecedented levels of aluminum and barium nanodust, primary components in chemtrails, both of which are incendiary, are fueling the ferocity of the super wildfires. A retired USAF Brigadier General, General Charles Jones, you know what, let's hit the brakes. Let's stop for a second. Let's check out exactly how credible a USAF Brigadier General is. According to Wikipedia, a Brigadier General ranks above a colonel and below a Major General. Okay, let's continue. A retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General, General Charles Jones, has been quoted from a public source as stating, "These white aircraft spray trails are the result of scientifically verifiable spraying of aluminum particles and other toxic heavy metals, polymers, and chemicals. Millions of tons of aluminum and barium are being sprayed almost daily across the U.S., stated Mills, a former naval officer and UCLA graduate." Pause once again. We have one legit U.S. Air Force general and one naval officer and UCLA graduate, both sharing facts on this. At this point, we can safely remove our tinfoil hats and check out the rest of this. Just sprinkle aluminum or barium dust on a fire and see what happens. It's nearly explosive. When wildfires break out, the aluminum barium dust results in levels of fire intensity so great as to cause firefighters to coin a new...
Remember the statement that we played last night? The Las Vegas crony, sheriff whatever guy, said that the ground was like metal, and he said... They were stating that the fire was so intense that it was burning metal, which is not quite a normal thing. As a subject we've been through quite a few times since 9/11. But the temperature has to be so intensely hot. It has to be an unnatural sauce or additive. So again, 2018. This is when this author is talking about this aluminum barrier dust to go within the fire. Now, I am not the professor. I don't know any better than you. The man did quote that the ground is melted metal as a result of the fire, and he stated it just as a blasé fact. So, okay, keep on learning. I'm starting to fear learning more, but you can never stop.
Term fire NATOs, he said. The entire U.S., in addition to various other NATO countries, are being sprayed. The government has for years denied the existence of chemtrail spraying. It now calls the program by various names, all under geoengineering. According to CAL FIRE Operation Chief Steve Crawford, the fires are burning differently and more aggressively. It has been reported the fires move faster than anyone has ever seen, and barriers that in years past contained them, such as rivers, no longer do. In California's Mount Shasta region, Francis Mangle, a USDA biologist, tested and found elevated levels of aluminum in water and soil samples of 4,610 parts per million, which is 25,000 times the safe guidelines of the World Health Organization.
How do you explain that? How do you, somebody has to explain that. Somebody has to be accountable to explain that. That's a question that the entirety of our country should be invested in learning. Who is to say that something like this will only happen in Maui, Hawaii, and all the other fires that are currently happening? Remember, I went through the fire.gov agency website that I'm going to visit again, because last night it was 96 active fires and 23 that were contained.
We are now seeing cities burning down nearly every week, and today it's massive fires in British Columbia, Canada. Evacuation orders are underway as the fire is progressing and getting worse and more intense. Over 160,000 people have been evacuated, with a state of emergency declared yesterday.
It was a devastating night last night, probably one of the toughest of my career, the toughest of all of our firefighters' careers. Likely is one of the most challenging nights of firefighting in our history. We fought hard last night to protect our community. Somebody described it to me last night in the heat of the battle as it was like 100 years of firefighting all at once in one night. And I really think that it was true. We fought 100 years worth of fires all in one night.
Switching gears now, in some positive news, Elon Musk is once again helping the people of Maui by providing them with solid, reliable power via Tesla power stations and also internet via Starlink.
Let me show you what community is, okay?
Y'all can hate on Elon Musk as popularly as you think it makes you, how mainstream it is. There's no shortage of my liberal Democrat friends that love hating on Elon Musk because he's wealthy. Shit on this. Shit on every good deed he has done. He is solely responsible for helping still making us a contender for the space race, as far as I'm concerned. NASA has dropped the fucking ball entirely. Keep on shitting on him. Show your true colors. Clearly, you're nothing more than a political crony, and you just go which way the wind tells you to. Thank you, Elon Musk.
Talking about government. I'm talking about private citizens. This is Hawaiian Homes. This is Archie Kalepa's house. And let me show you another community private member. Not part of the community, but certainly giving to the community. Starlink, everywhere. Tesla, batteries, running communications for this entire area of Lahaina. That is where everyone comes.
What use is our government? Clearly, I mean, I know we need our laws and structure. It gives us the illusion of civilization. But, I mean, at this point, truly, is it even worth it anymore to fight for it? When we send our men, our women, our children, our family overseas to fucking Ukraine or whatever the case, is it worth it when our government is so clearly screwing us at every turn and opportunity? And then when we come home, it is private citizens, private wealthy citizens that are helping where the help is needed most. Do we need our government? They're just good for taxing us and putting us in jail without due process and making us vote a certain way with shadow cabals, according to Time Magazine. I didn't say it.
I just want to show you something, okay? So you know what you're giving to, what it's helped saving, okay? Just want to show you what you've become a part of as well, Elon. There's the line, right there. There's the line. That's how close it got to the community leader, Archie Kalepa's house, which is now the whole neighborhood powered by Starlink and Tesla. As they'd say, man, appreciate you.
Folks, there is so much unfolding
And why haven't I heard about that on the mainstream media, you pieces of shit? Y'all just so busy just, because he allowed Trump to speak freely, or he's just letting everybody speak freely. He's an enemy because he leaked the so-called Twitter files, the 500 pages of Twitter files that proves the FBI were having active meetings prior to his employment and showed that the FBI was intimidating and enforcing what they wanted reported and censoring people that dissented from the status quo. But somehow, some way, it's popular to hate on him because that's what just the liberals do.
Every single day, and I'm here to bring you the information as quickly as possible. If you enjoyed the content in today's video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. As always,
I will right now.
I picked the software engineering program because they pay very well.
I hope. Thank you, sir. Hustle bitch. Thanks. I subscribed. I'm looking. I took the risk of using copyrighted material. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I'm a little morose. Okay. Let me go to you guys for a moment. I know that I got a bit passionate here. I hope. Well, no, I'm not worried about embarrassing myself. I am pissed. I am pissed, and not only am I exhausted, of course, from everyday work, because that's what we do, but everyday bullshit from a system that is so broken, and it just seems to want to break us along with it. And I say no. I hope you all say the same in solidarity. I'm a little drained. I promise I will return, read every comment. Maxwell, I want to propose this, and please call me out on this. Tomorrow is Sunday. While I do have a couple of plans, do feel free at any time in the day after around 1 p.m. to call my cell phone. Do not worry about just texting or bothering me. Call my cell phone. And let's make a plan to see if we can get our stream up and have a conversation. Everybody, I'm tapped out for the night. Slim Reaper, my brother, it is so good to see you, and I hope the family's well. Y'all take care. I'm a little depleted, and my heart is a little broken. I'm gonna have a drink. Good night to one and all. Keep on with the keeping on. Don't let them kill your spirit. Good night.